Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Figma Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf. The reason I'm sighing is because Zelda was an absolute pile of garbage of a figure, which was super unfortunate. And Link I didn't even review because he was such a pain in the butt to handle. He's not anywhere near as bad as Zelda, but I just didn't want to handle it anymore. Ganondorf is somewhere in between the two and also better than both of them, but also not at the same time. I don't know what Good Smile was thinking when they came up with this batch of Zelda figures, but it was a bunch of bad ideas, frankly. Whether you like the designs or not, that's not really the issue. The issue is that they're way out of scale with anything else Figma puts out, which is, I mean, that's fine, I guess, because they scale with each other, but it's just a weird choice because they don't scale with any of the other Nintendo properties that they've done. But also, they are way over-engineered and just not very fun figures. This one has a lot of stuff that's going for it, though. There's a lot of good stuff, too, but also a lot of bad stuff, so I'm curious how you guys feel about this by the end of the video, but let's go ahead and get into it and see what we think. Alrighty, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package, and it is the sleeve kind, so there's the front with a terrible pose for Ganon. I mean, I get why they're doing this pose, but the figure doesn't do it well. Like, look at the way the body... What is that? Oh, and the elbow's terrible. Like, I get it, but also Figma, come on, man, you have to make your figure better. So, Figma's been known for a long time, or at least had been known for a long time, for being not great at articulation. They're just simple joints that work well enough. And now they're trying to be like a real action figure company and doing the just weird stuff. I'll show you as we go through the review. It's just really, really weird. Some strange things going on with this figure. Luckily, there's some good stuff too, so I think some of you will find at least something to like about this. If you wanted to get a Ganondorf figure, it's nowhere near in the same realm as that horrible Zelda that I just reviewed last week or whatever it was. Alright, so this guy stands roughly, I don't know, 7 and an eighth-ish to like right here, to this part of the top of his head. And that's going to make him just about, let's say, 18.2. So he's got some real size on him, because like I said, these figures are huge compared to standard Figma releases, which are, you know what, people always love to tell me, they're not in scale. I know that. But you could put all of the other previous Zelda figures and Metroid figures together, and they fit together pretty well. Maybe not perfectly, but pretty well. These guys are like giants compared to the other ones, so it's just a strange thing. It's very strange. But let's talk about this guy. First, though, question of the day, which Ganondorf is your favorite? I have two. Number one, of course, being OOT. Without a doubt, the best Ganondorf design ever. And then my second one would be, I don't know which game it's from off the top of my head. Is it Tears? Nope, it's not Tears. That's this one. Shoot. Twilight Princess, I think, is the one. I'll post the image. I don't remember which game he's from now, because I haven't played all of the Zelda games. Anyway, let's get into it. This guy does have really nice paint work, and then the detail sculpt work is awesome too. So we'll just look at the tiny stuff first, and then we'll look at the big picture. Lots of really nice detail work other than his arm falling off. His face, his head, it looks pretty darn good. It's a good looking figure for sure. There's a lot of really, get your feet out of the way. There's a lot of really nice paint work in here. A lot of really nice sculpt work in here. It makes the figure look nicer than it is, so I could definitely see people wanting this to just stick it on the shelf. It's a close enough representation of the character that is fine. But here's the thing. Just like with Zelda, they screwed up a lot of it. Her head was a weird shape. His whole body is a weird shape. I know he has, in the game, a body where it gets bigger as it gets taller, as it goes up. That's fine. Really big arms, big chests, relatively small legs and feet. That's fine. It looks good in the game and in the reference materials and all the different stuff. They screwed the proportioning up a lot. They made his feet even tinier. They made his legs even stumpier, and they made his chest round. His pecs are flat with his rib cage that sticks out way too far. He doesn't at all have that super muscular physique that he has in the game. It looks weird. He's got like a fat man. He looks like E Honda almost from Street Fighter. He's got that fat man muscle body that they do in anime or whatever. It does not look the same. He in the game, even with this stylized proportioning, he looks very powerful. This guy looks like an old fat guy with muscles. It's weird looking. It's super weird looking, and that's not even to talk about the way the articulation makes it even uglier, which we'll talk about as we go. But the shape of the chest, especially the musculature here, the way the abs are just flat onto him, and then the tiny, tiny feet. And I get it, I'm going to get people saying, his feet are small. I know his feet are smaller than normal. Like, it's a very stylized look. I get that. This does not match the source material. So, that throws it off a lot. When you pose it, it's a lot less noticeable, but as you saw on the box, when you pose it, it does look pretty weird in some places. So, we'll get into that when we do the articulation. But there is a lot to like about the aesthetic, other than those big things. All the little things look nice. The matte finish is pretty nice. The metallic gold stands out. I like that. It's generally pretty good looking. So there's that. I think they could have done a little bit better with the sleeve here, with this giant hinge. If you're going to do that, you should put some paint on here too, because it just looks cheap. It's not great looking. But yeah, there is a lot to like about it, for sure. Not like Zelda, where there is almost literally nothing to like about it. So that's nice. So I'll give him a 5 out of 10. I could go 6, I guess. But the way they sculpted his chest and legs really throws off the look on this guy a bunch. Alright, now as far as the accessories go, he's got some really nice accessories, mostly. We'll start with the faces. He's got 3 total faces. They're very, very nicely done. Wonderful, like those a whole bunch. Decent spread of hands, probably everything you're going to need, no issues there. You have his bow, which is just gigantic, but that looks nice. Really cool paint job on there. Of course, you get the arrow that goes with that, and you get the flame effect, if you want to call it flame. That snaps on over there. That looks really good too. You get his sword. The scabbard seems way too big for the sword. I couldn't say for sure if that's accurate to the game or not, because it's hard to figure those kinds of things out. But the sword itself looks really, really nice with the hamon and the details on there, and that's awesome. Scabbard's only okay. And then you get this overbuilt display stand because he's a giant chungus of a Figma release. And that's fine. So, a decent spread of accessories. I think that's pretty good. Oh, I didn't say the Naginata. He's got the giant Naginata. So, that's really cool. Or Guangdao. I don't know what you want to say because it's he's not Japanese or Chinese. But anyway, it looks really nice other than the dangly part that is sculpted onto the blade. I hate that so much. Anytime you pose him with it, if you're actually paying attention, it looks silly. It should just be a dangly piece. Companies have been doing dangly pieces for a long time, and Good Smile was just like, nah. So I don't like that, but otherwise, it looks really, really nice. Okay, so accessory-wise, I'll go 9 out of 10. Pretty darn good. Okay, now, can it pose? That's gonna be a thing, because it's filled with articulation, but can it actually pose? We'll start with the hair. This is on a ball hinge, so that'll be fine. It looks like Play-Doh, extruder Play-Doh, but that's on a ball hinge. That's fine. This is on a little hinge here too, so that'll get out of the way as needed. So he can look up and he can look down, but he is also on a ball hinge, so it's going to be a pain in the ass to wiggle it around sometimes, but the head does work pretty well on top of the neck. It'd be better if it was ball pegs, but that's fine. Now, the neck itself, you can see they cut it up to make a joint there, but they made it only hinge forward and back. But also not back. Like, it'll go back to where it started, but that's the only thing the joint does. It goes from where it's supposed to be to that. I mean, okay. It's weird. Now, this shoulder doesn't have a butterfly built into it at all. Can I pop it off easily? Yes. Yes, I can. It has a giant double ball peg, which in a lot of cases I'm all for. I like double ball pegs. For shoulders, it's not the best thing. It gets the job done here, but no butterfly at all, which is annoying, and I'll show you why in just a second. Okay. He's got a lot of meat here to make a butterfly joint work, especially if they didn't put that stupid neck joint in the way they did. I'll show you how the shoulder works first. It goes up to horizontal, that's fine, and then of course it's going to rotate around because it's just on a big ball. It does get loose very easily, and you get your bicep swivel down here. So it's fine enough. It's functional enough. He can't bring his arm forward any more than that. It's just, they went super simple here in the worst way. Single jointed elbow, which is relatively well hidden by the wrinkles, gets you decent range, but it's not a great looking elbow. And then you do have this part here, which I get what they're going for. I think they overthought it and underthought it at the same time. It looks bad most of the time. I don't know. And ball hinge wrists. Now here's the thing. Let me grab the other figure I wanted to show you from the same company. See how big his arm is and how much room they have in his chest to work? No butterfly at all, just a giant double ball peg. Here's a figure with tiny body, couldn't really be smaller, and she has a super functional double ball peg. Butterfly joint that pops out of her body and lets her bring her arm across her chest. It would have been nice if Ganondorf had a little bit of articulation in that shoulder. He does not really, as you saw. Now on this side, they're like, okay, well, we'll do it on this side where it can't be hidden as easily. We'll go ahead and put a butterfly in there, but what we'll do is make it not work and be really, really ugly. It doesn't... The rotation is too far in. So when you bring it forward, you still don't have any range. Like, you get a little bit because he's got this giant Revoltech style shoulder, which I wish every company would stop doing other than Revoltech, but also Revoltech. At least they have a reason for it. Everybody else trying to copy them doesn't make any sense. That's the best you could do with the shoulder still, but that's because of the Revoltech style shoulder. This butterfly is terrible. It doesn't swing out at all. So you end up with a really, really ugly shoulder that only works a little bit if you go up and use it in a very specific way. So I don't know what they were thinking there. And then this part of the arm likes to come apart. See that gap there? That's super annoying. But yeah, you do get your bicep swivel. And you get a double jointed elbow here, which is not the worst thing, but pretty ugly from the front. And then from the back, it's like they've never designed an elbow before. It's got to be one of the uglier elbows I've seen. So yeah, I don't know what Good Smile's up to these days other than releasing a lot of bad figures. I don't know what it is. Like, they're... Okay, so not all of them, though. That's what's weird about it. Is the Dread Samus was, like, top tier. Maybe even Figure of the Year. I can't remember for sure, but it was up there. And then these figures are, like... It's like they've never made action figures before. And now for his torso, which they sculpted in the worst way possible compared to the source material... It has a giant hinge, a ball hinge in it. Ugh, ball hinges don't work well like that. When they're fully encapsulated like that, you can't do the shimmy that you need to do to make a ball hinge work. To get it to go to the side, for instance, you can't do that. That should be a giant double ball peg just like their stupid shoulder. Because that's where you're supposed to do it. So they went to try to do a Revoltech style joint, and look at the gap. Maybe you can't see it, it's too dark. There's a giant gap when he leans forward because of the way they've done this. You have that huge ball hinge in there. Hopefully you can see it. And then a ball peg at the top. If you don't lean it forward, it just wiggles around on that ball peg a little bit. Not a lot. But also you have this happening to where his skin is just like going over the wraps. It's just so poorly put together, poorly designed, poorly executed. That giant hinge in there to get almost no range and a huge gap. I don't understand what this company is doing with action figures anymore. Alright, for his waist, you do get a ball peg in here, but it's a floppy mess. And this part doesn't spin independently, so all of this is connected to this. Which is why when they have that photo on the front, I thought it was funny, because they have his back sticking out like this. And it looks ridiculous. But yeah, you get a hinge here, you get a hinge here, you get a hinge here, but it's all floppy crap. It's floppy crap. Ball hinge here. And then for the hips, or the legs in general, they're floppy as well. Couldn't be more ugly in terms of gapping and weirdness. That does not need to be there. It's a ball peg, but it's also hideous. And also there's paint transfer, and I've barely handled this figure already. Oh, man. But yeah, you get to rotate his legs around, or his hips around a little bit, but there's no place for them to go, even with all of those hinges. So it's just a floppy, crappy mess. Bring the legs forward. It's okay. Bring the legs out to the side. It's okay. I think they put his hips too low still, so when you pose him it looks a little bit weird. His hips should be much higher. It just looks weird. Everything on this figure is so poorly done. It's really kind of confusing. It's like, how did that look how low his hip joint is. It looks like his leg is coming, like that's where, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just bad. It's not well done. The knees, also, they just sculpted the pants over the gold part. That's not how it is in the source material. And it's not even baggy enough to make it look like that. That's tucked in to this part. I mean, it's like, it shouldn't be hanging over like that. Let's just leave. I'm tired of talking about this figure. The knee joint is not terrible. The idea is not terrible, but the execution is pretty bad. For such a simple joint, they tried to go Revoltech single joint, but didn't really adjust the sculpt to make it look right. So it looks pretty goofy. The range is alright, but you're not going to be using his legs that much anyway because of how little you can move his hips. And then for his ankles, they did a big old ball hinge. That's the way to do it. That's good. No issues there. And the toe hinge is a good design. It's a little far back on the foot, but they did it well enough. So you don't want to go too far back on the foot because then you end up with those big gaps there. But the way they did it rounded, that's nice. It just needs to be a much smaller joint farther forward. I mean, actually, where the pin is good. They went too far back with all the meat. Oh my gosh, is it out of focus again? So the way they did this, the placement is actually good for the pin. The joint's pin is in the right spot, but they put way too much meat behind the pin, and it gives you these big gaps. And it puts the joint too far back, overall. But it's close enough to a good ankle joint. So yeah, it's just like, for a premium figure, it's not. It's like it's designed by a company that's never made premium figures before, and they're trying to. Which is not really the case with Figma, though it kind of is, because their premium figures have always been about aesthetics, and unless they're skinny anime people, they have never been particularly good at it. But this is... Nope, it's just not it. I'm going to give his articulation an overall rating of 3 out of 10. It's not good at posing, it's not fun to handle, there's too much floppiness, and there's too much over-engineering and under-engineering at the same time. It's not a good release, just like the rest of the Zelda figures in this bunch. Maybe they'll do another batch of figures to explain how much better the story is in this game, like they did with Tears of the Kingdom. Let's put no story in the game and then make another one to flesh it out. Maybe they'll do that. Another batch of figures to somehow help these figures. I'm making a joke because Nintendo sucks. Okay, so I'm going to give it an overall rating of 6 out of 10. There's enough there that if you really want it, you'll probably be fine. And if you want to overlook a bunch of stuff, which is obviously your prerogative, it's okay. There's enough there. But it's really not. If you have a discerning eye for action figures and aren't being swooned, no, that's not the word. Wooed? Not even close to the right word. If you aren't being wooed by the fact that it's Ganondorf, I don't think you're going to enjoy it very much. It's very unpleasant to handle. Yeah, I don't like it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but I'll be done there. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.